Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Rewired. Today's topic is going to be a little bit off topic from the usual. I got a call from my accountant yesterday, and he was going through the taxes, and I could tell that he had bad news, just the way he was talking, beating around the bush up to the point, getting to the point of the conversation. So, yeah, we owe a bit of money, and he said that a lot of that had to do with not having health insurance last year. So I wanted to talk about um, my experience last year being self-employed, both of us being self-employed, and why we made the decision to not have health insurance. Maybe what we can do in the future, and kind of how that whole process worked. Don't want to make this a complaint session about that. It is what it is. I made the choice not to have health insurance. So yeah, last year we started to look into the Obamacare. We went to a friend of ours who helps people go through that whole process, and he walked us through the scenario through the webpage. And really, best case scenario for the both of us came out to be about somewhere around $1,500 to $1,700 a month for health insurance, and they all had and that was with large deductibles. So we looked at it, we're like, what the hell, why bother paying the insurance company $1,500 to $1,700 a month, then have to pay all the deductibles, never really getting any of the insurance money back, when we needed it. Except in the case, of course, if we had, a tragedy or, some kind of accident or something like that. So we opted not to have the health insurance this past year, and I guess I completely forgot about the penalty that goes along with not having health insurance. I know there's one the year before. First year, I guess there was none, and this year was a little more hefty. So, man, it hit us pretty hard. So, what can we do going forward then? I guess they're getting rid of the penalty, so that point is moot. But it would still be nice to have some kind of health insurance. So I guess I can go back and look at the free market and see what's out there for reasonably priced health insurance. My guess is it's probably not going to be any more reasonably priced than it is right now. The good thing about Obamacare, it had its pluses, it had its minuses, like most things. It's not black and white. Was the waiving the pre-existing condition. So my wife and I both have pre-existing conditions. My wife has an autoimmune disease, and I have a congenital heart defect. So even though we're both healthy right now, the insurance companies don't see that because they just see what could happen, in the future. And I actually, as a side note, a few years back when I was looking to go into independent contracting, when I was a software engineer, talked to an insurance company beforehand to see how much it would cost, and they quoted me something that was just ridiculously astronomical. I told them up front what I had, what my wife had, and he gave me something. Oh man, it was seriously close to like $5,000 to $8,000 a month. And that's just ridiculous. So I could try that route, see where that goes. I know there's these faith-based packages out there. I think I've briefly looked into them, so I don't know a whole lot. But I believe you pay into a pool, and when you need the money, you can take that pool out. I think they kind of have to approve what is okay and what isn't okay, but I'm not clear on that as well. I don't want to misspeak on that. So, but it did sound like it was a pretty good alternative. You don't have to be part of the faith for most of them, and it seems like it's more of a community-based approach, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know how well that would work if you had like a really big surgery or something like that. So, something else I'd have to look into. Of course, there's Medicaid. Don't think I qualify for that right now, but that's always an option if your income is below a certain level. And then another alternative we'd like to look into is subscriptions for certain clinics. So I know some doctors are breaking away from the insurance, the whole insurance thing with the hospitals, and creating their own practices. So you pay a certain amount a month or a year, and you get services with them. So you get like 1 or 2 checkups a year, you get some lab work, you get access to them sometimes 24/7. If you have a cold or if you have a flu, or if you really need to go see them, you can go see them right away. So that sounds like a pretty good alternative. It's as long as that fee is waived, I think that's a viable alternative for me. I guess it depends where you're going and who you're seeing for that. I tend to see more functional doctors, and there's not any in the area, but there is a couple hours away. So some of those also have that approach. So yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to start the conversation on that. That's the whole health insurance is really in flux, and I know my opinion that's only the front end of the whole health thing. So there is so multifaceted. You have the health insurance on one end. We have what we eat, the pharmaceuticals, how we grow our food, everything, from how we treat the environment. Everything's all connected. So I'd love to hear if you're self-employed, what you did, what your approach was, and maybe with things changing, what your approach is going to be moving forward. So, all right. So if you love the content, I would love to have you subscribe and continue being part of the community. Have a great rest of your day. All right. Bye.